Look at how they massacred my boy. I can't jack off to this fucking rabbit, mate. Hey, my name's Moliminous, and it is the season of reboots. What the fuck am I saying? It's not the season of reboots. It is the decade of reboots. Now, I'm sure most of you are seeing shit rebooted constantly now at this point. If you're watching cartoons or you're watching movies, I'm sure you're out there fiending for some original content, some spicy original content, but they just keep on remaking shit. And not only are they remaking it, but some people would argue they're ruining the memory of the original now, whether it's Powerpuff Girls or Teen Titans or, God forbid, our sacred child, MLP with G5. They have been redesigning, remixing, and re-envisioning every entity that could possibly make companies money. And Space Jam seems to be no exception now. We're not going to tackle the MLP genre. Not today, at least, all right? Now, I have some pretty strong opinions, and they go against the grain on this one, all right? It really grinds my gears that people don't like the new design, and for the reasons that they give that they don't like it. Not that they just don't like it. That's fine to have your opinions. But when you start to try to substantiate them, that's when we get into a debate. But this one is specifically about Space Jams. This is Lola Bunny, responsible for awakening the degeneracy known as the furry virus in so many kids back in the 19-whatevers. Now, I am a younger kiddo, so I didn't actually grow up with this movie when I was in theaters, but I was like close enough that when I was like however old, I got to see it on VHS or something, or maybe I even went to this long forgotten thing called a dollar movie theater where you would go and see older movies for like $1 instead of paying $100 to take the family to one fucking movie. But that's where I saw it, and I still developed this love of it. It became part of my childhood all the same, and goddamn, is it probably responsible for turning so many people into being furries? Like Lola Bunny, Crystal Fox, all these people are totally responsible for the absolute explosion of furrydom that we see here today. But if you remember back into that original airing of Space Jam, Lola is definitely eye candy. She is there to be sexy. You are supposed to find this bunny attractive. That is what the Hollywood producers wanted you to feel. They wanted you to be horny for this bunny. All right. That's how she was drawn. Her entire personality was very powerful, but it was all about her sexuality and about being how she's an independent woman. And that's great. That is perfectly fine. However, it was played up to such a point that it felt like a stereotype almost. Like it felt nearly comical. But it also wasn't exactly new or rather old back then. Maybe retroactively looking at it, it seems very blasé, very played out. But back then it was probably a little bit newer, especially since we're talking about cartoons, which is the whole reason why she was probably how she was. The reason why Lola Bunny was so sexy, why they really wanted you to jack off to this rabbit, and I'm not talking about Zootopia, is because back then, cartoons were pretty much only catered to kids. Like, you didn't have Steven Universe. You didn't have OKKO. You didn't have the cartoon renaissance of 2010, all right? Cartoons were for kids. That's pretty much it, all right? If you're going to go see a cartoon, it's because you're either a pedophile or you have kids. Or both. So they added things into these cartoons that would make adults happy to go see it, or at least make it so that adults didn't want to blow their brains out because they had to sit there for 2 hours. They had some jokes or some things in there that they could relate to, that they could giggle at, that they could chuckle at, and say that they'll explain it to the kids when they're older or something, right? So that's why Lola was so super duper sexy, all right? And a lot of the times was just it, you know, the character was specifically written for that. But fast forward to 2021, listen, we've evolved a lot. Now, we're not quite where I would want us to be, all right? But cartoons aren't necessarily seen as just a kid thing, all right? The adults don't need too much more of a push to go see it. Things like Pixar and Disney have created beautiful masterpieces of art and creativity. And I know there's probably some pretentious assholes watching this video who are upset that I just use those words to describe Pixar and Disney, but it's true. For the vast majority of people, they look at some of these masterpieces that are coming out from these studios and they're happy with them. It's not just a kid movie. It's a kid and adult movie. It's a movie catered towards kids, but something that adults can easily enjoy and have fun watching. They're not like begrudging going to the movie theater, so they definitely have to not be begrudging it because, as I stated, it's like $100 goddamn to take the fam to the movie theaters. Now, you can go for cheaper, sure, but a lot of the times you want to get the full movie theater experience. You want that XD surround sound. You want the burgers and the pizzas, and you want that reclining, vibrating seat. You want the full package. And even if you don't want that, it's still goddamn expensive to go to the movie theater. So you better want to actually go. So that being said, though, they don't really need the push of a sexy fuckable bunny to get them to take their kids to the movies. All right? They've already accepted, hey, cartoons can be good. I don't need to jack off to the characters. You know? I don't need to. They probably will still, but, you know, they don't need to. They don't need that push. And so we get this new Lola Bunny, this toned down, this plank looking Lola Bunny. No hips, no tits, no ass. But hopefully, with still a good personality. Something that's either, you know, you don't need double D titties, right? You don't need an ass to look like Houston, Texas. To be confident, to be secured in your sexuality, to be dominant, all right? You can be dominant and be exceptionally flat. In fact, some guys are into that, and some guys are super into that, and now they're in prison. But the show is catered to kids. That's their core audience. The adults are the icing. The adults are the wallets. The kids are the reason why the adults are opening their wallets. And whether you made her super sexualized or like super like skinny and asexual, you were gonna get like vocal minorities on the internet bitching. Now, if you did it super sexually, you're gonna get a lot of people upset that you're sexualizing these children's characters, and they're gonna call you a sexist. Now, you take away her sexuality, and you got a bunch of SJWs who probably weren't planning on, or anti-SJWs who weren't planning on seeing the movie because, you know, they probably don't care because there's no, it's not an anime or something like that. And so now they're going to be upset. They're going to call you SJW bullshit. They're going to like say that you're going woke, so you're going to go broke or something. They're going to try to boycott you. But these motherfuckers, they don't have kids. No one would fucking date them, let alone actually have children with them. So they're not really your core audience. So you can cater to one, you can cater to the other, but you can't cater to both. So they went with the one that's more profitable. The majority of people don't care that she's not sexy. All right. It's just the people on the internet who care. And so these companies are going with the less sexualized version because they don't want a scandal. And they know that even if they go with the less sexualized version, there's still going to be countless videos like this one, countless tweets, etc., all complaining about it or praising them for it. And that's all free advertisement. At the end of the day, a lot of these reboots, a lot of these redesigns, etc., may be unappealing to you and me, but that's because we're no longer the target demographic. As sad as it is to say, we're no longer 12-year-olds. We're no longer 10-year-olds, all right? We have jobs. We go to school. We do something. We're a lot older. And so it's just not going to be as appealing to us. But these are things that kids like. I guarantee you that they put those Lola bunnies side by side for all these kids to choose. And consistently, the kids chose the Lola bunny without the massive tits and ass. For some goddamn reason. Sounds like those kids have shit taste, but hey, that's what kids like apparently. I don't know. But hey, my name's been Faith or Moliminous. My name is Faith or Moliminous. I love your faces. Hope you at least like my video. Let me know down below. Is this a deal breaker? Is the fact that this bunny isn't as fuckable a deal breaker? Are you not going to go see this movie? Or do you not care? Did you prefer the old version? What is your thoughts? What's going on in that head of yours? If you enjoyed, be sure to like the videos. And if you aren't already, subscribe to me. And if you absolutely adore me, you can give me some of your hard-earned Wendy's money or McDonald's money on Patreon. And I'll see you guys in the next one.